Last summer, I set out on one of my toughest adventures yet, cycling the Caucasus Crossing, a traverse of Europe's highest mountain range. Over brutally high mountain passes and through lush, green valleys. The route was challenging, but also brought me through some of the most beautiful landscapes I'd ever seen. The route includes the Atsunta Pass, which is a hiking trail, connecting two regions over a 3,500 meters high pass, where we had to push our bikes up. During this month in Georgia, I also got to know its nature, people and culture, and fell in love with this country. Alright, I made my way to Tbilisi. That was very stressful. It's like a big contrast between newly renovated houses and old places. After a few relaxing days in the heat of Tbilisi, my legs were itching, and so I headed out towards the high Caucasus Mountains. The road led me out of the crazy and overwhelming city traffic into the countryside, and for the next 2 days I got into a rhythm and got used to living on the bike again. Then it was time for the real route to start. The Caucasus Crossing begins with entering the mountainous Tusheti region, which for cars is only accessible by an almost 3,000 meter high, badly maintained mountain pass, which is one of the most dangerous roads in the world, and it's called Abano Pass. Okay, the asphalt road just ended. Now it's gravel, and I have a feeling that for the next few days in Tusheti, I'm not going to see much asphalt. And after a long day in the saddle in like 30-35 degrees weather, there's just nothing more refreshing than a bath in a nice cold mountain river. That was beautiful. I needed that. Okay, so I just started my ride, and now it's only uphill up to Abano Pass, and I'm already on like the lower slopes. It's 32 kilometers long, with 2,200 meters of ascent. That's an insane climb, and it's on a gravel road. Oh man, I've got the second flat on the third day. My back tire is flat. Oh, so steep, and it's so hard to get up. I've only managed like 8 kilometers so far. At 10 AM the temperature was already over 30 degrees, and even above 1,000 meters it didn't cool down much. To call the road a gravel road would be an exaggeration. These were loose stones on raw rock surface. And with almost 40 kilograms of baggage, I was really struggling, and thought about all the things that I could have left at home. Jesus man, look at this road. I think like after 1.5 hours of cycling, I managed to do about 6 kilometers. It's insane. It's very encouraging though, like a lot of people that are waving and first time I can see the pass up there. It doesn't look so far away, but I think it is pretty far away. I started at 10 AM, now it's 4 PM. I made it up. Had to cry a lot. That was so tough. The entire fucking day. The last few kilometers were so hard. And I made it. I'm camping on top of the Abano Pass at 2,800 meters. Beautiful. Good morning. I camped up there on the top of Abano Pass, which was beautiful. And yeah, this descent, you can probably see the turns back there. I have to be careful. I've been warned. Yeah, the road is not that good, so I have to be, yeah, just take it slow. A fast and furious downhill ride led me into the region of Tusheti. Suddenly I was surrounded by green grasslands and beautiful horses and felt like I had entered a new world. Wow, so this is Tusheti. It's like this green oasis that is only accessible by one single huge mountain pass. And yeah, everything here is so green and beautiful forests and hills and grass. It's amazing. The next morning, I woke up in my cozy bed on the balcony. I met some other travelers and Gianluca, a fellow bikepacker. Initially, I just wanted to go in and out of Tusheti via the main road, the Abano Pass, but there's an alternative, over the mighty Atsunta Pass, a hiking trail which some people dare to do with their bikes. And Gianluca convinced me to come with him, but for that I had to repack and give a lot of my baggage to other people who would bring it back to Tbilisi in their cars for me, so that my bike would be light enough to push it for several days. And after a few hours of packing, we were ready.
Hello people, I'm Gianluca, the new addition to the team.
Yeah, and so he convinced me to actually do the route up to the Atsunta Pass. Yeah,
it's a 3,400 meter pass, which is actually for hiking, but we will try to do it by bike.
We're gonna spend the next week together riding over the Atsunta Pass from Umalo to Tusheti, which is yeah, insanely hard. And today is the first day and we're taking the afternoon to explore a mountain ridge, so we're hiking up.
Close your eyes, hear the voice within calling. This heavy load got under your skin, hauling. You got the white knuckles holding on it tight, keeping your feelings bottled up inside, heading for collision in the night. To really live, you gotta die. Breathe in, breathe out. Hey, come alive. Breathe in, breathe out. Look at the colors, colors, colors. Right.
So we are now in the medieval village of Datlo, which is really cool. All these old houses and yeah, lots of little paths. Okay, we've left Datlo behind us, so from now on it's getting a little more wild. So we're now in the last village along this kind of dirt road and having some lunch, some chachpuri, soup and salad and a beer, which is really nice. And yeah, let's see how far we get today. From now on it's going to be a hiking path, so it's going to be exciting how we get along with that.
Меня зовут Зураб,
Окей,
Зураб
и-
Чагошвили. Мои предки жили здесь. И здесь было все разрушено, весь село. Во время войны мой отец восстановил это село.
Живешь июль и август.
Август,
Здесь?
сентябрь,
Сентябрь, окей.
октябрь, 28 октября пошел вниз в прошлом году.
Зима это люди
Все идут
жить?
вниз, вниз идут.
Здесь?
Люди здесь нету, только
окей.
пограничники.
Нет, много снег.
Снег много приходит в конце иногда сентября, в конце октября. Зимой тоже красиво. Тихо все, везде тихо. И люди нету, никого нету,
Да.
тихо и спокойно отдыхаешь.
Туристы.
Да, да.
Да?
Нам приятно знакомиться с туристами. Со
Да,
всех
помидор?
помидор оттуда.
Окей.
Мясо здешнее, все здешнее.
Окей, вау. Это Джанлука.
Приятно.
Italia.
Италия.
Ну
Все, спасибо.
Now we're trying to get our Atsunta Pass papers, because the pass is close to the border of Chechnya. We have to get some papers at this military checkpoint. This is what's left of Jen's derailleur. It's like completely bent. Yeah. I don't know
How it happened, honestly. I mean, this morning, yeah, there was a problem, but I never imagined it would have
Yeah.
turned out like this. the current state of affairs. When you see, we have to make videos when we don't want to.
So we tried our best, few hours, and yeah, we kind of came up with a single speed solution. But as soon as you put pressure on it, it doesn't work anymore. We're gonna go back into the village to sleep in a guest house and yeah, see if we can find a solution tomorrow morning. We found a lovely guest house, got some very tasty dinner and spent the rest of the evening sitting by a campfire and talked with the daughter of the guest house owner who played us this beautiful song. Okay, so this is the fix. There's no derailleur, it's a single speed, and it goes through this piece of pipe. Yeah.
There is a risk of we do all of this because otherwise the single speed would fall down or up, depending on. So hopefully this way it will stay.
Yeah.
In the position.
Yeah, so I have the third smallest gear. I mean, it's not perfect, but should do it. I think the apples are fine. And so we were finally on the way towards Atsunta Pass. From here on, it was a real hiking trail. This meant lots of pushing, but also very fun single trail descents. We're like, I think 2-3 hours in. We've covered 6 kilometers so far. Cause yeah, the trail is often like this. We have to push a lot, but it's quite nice. Sometimes it's a really cool single trail that we can ride, although it's not really made for bikes. Having to push quite a lot, but it's really fun, yeah. The what?
You're right.
Yeah. We're yeah, near 2,600 meters, and yeah, this trail is pretty rough. It's along the edge of this hill and mountain, and yeah, we're having to push a lot, and also have to be very careful that we don't fall down. That was fun. And for the first time we could actually see it up there at the very top, where I'm at 3,400 meters. We're now at like 2,700. We have about 2 hours of sunlight left. So yeah, we're gonna try to go as fast as possible. And this river is pretty rowdy. I'm glad we don't have to cross it. We have to cross this river, and it rained last night, so it's pretty big.
River crossing? Yeah, it was fun. Some back throwing.
Last like 100 meters of altitude gain. And yeah, pretty tired, so we'll set up camp soon. It's a pretty sick place to be pushing a bike. So this is our dinner. Some nice pasta with mushrooms. How was it, you say?
German cook are the best.
Hello and good morning from our beautiful camp spot at 2,900 meters. Yeah, we're gonna go up today. The pass is just up there, 700 meters higher than we are currently, and only 3 kilometers. First some breakfast and enjoying the sunrise. This was our breakfast. Oh, this is our breakfast. Oats with apple chocolate. How would you rate it?
I recommend it.
Yeah.
You must try.
Okay. Let's go. We just started today's hike. It's gonna be a tough one. Too much. Like just drink when you're thirsty. We're almost there. You can see the pass up there, somewhere in the back. Here. I mean, still a bit to go. But Jesus, look at that behind us.
Great job, man. I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
There must be one pass back.
Yeah. Fuck. It's beautiful. Don't know, how long I and Jan have probably been thinking about it, but yeah, it's amazing. That was pretty hot, but yeah. In the back you can see Mount Caspic, and here's the region of Tusheti. Over there is Russia, Chechnya. 3,500 meters. We did it.
Yeah.
In the second part of the Caucasus Crossing, we met up with two friends of Gianluca, Carlo and Lorenzo. Together, we conquered the Swanetian Caucasus over some crazy mountain roads fueled by the Georgian food specialty khachapuri. It was a fun and wild ride, so stay tuned.